Hey guys, what's up? So today we're gonna do another Caltrac installation, but I'm gonna take this whole video, install, whatever you want to call it, in a whole different direction. I want to talk to you guys about when you drop your truck. I know a lot of guys, this stuff is new to y'all. I really don't know much. I mean, I've been doing this for 10 years, 11 years already, and I'm still learning new stuff. You know, there's always new products coming out. There's all kinds of stuff. You know, you can't always go based off what you see off the internet or what you see on forums. What I've seen is that a lot of that shit isn't even true. People don't know what the fuck they're talking about. They're complete idiots. I've seen it all, and it never fails to surprise me. Like, I get home and I'm just on these different forums. There's like a Gen 5 forum for these newer trucks. There's a forum for the Rams. There's a forum for the 9906s, and I see all these people and like all the stuff that they talk about, and they have no idea what the fuck they're talking about. So what I'm making this video about is like when you get your truck dropped, you know, the shop that you choose to do it with. What I have been seeing these last couple of weeks is that a lot of guys come to me and they ask me to fix their trucks. I have no problem doing that. It's just the ones that kind of bug me are the ones that I have already given a price to, and they still choose to go somewhere else, and they get their truck all fucked up, and then they expect me to do the job for like cheap as fuck. You know, I can't do that. I'm not gonna be fixing other people's work when I already told you to bring me the truck the first time, and I could have done it like perfect work, you know, because that's what we do. That's one thing about me. The way I do these trucks is like if it was my own truck. I'm not gonna let a truck roll out of here with some half-ass work. That I can't do that. I'd rather take a little bit longer and give you something perfect that I know you're not gonna have any problems with, instead of giving you half-ass work. So these are a couple questions that you guys have to ask yourselves before you go get work done, go get your truck done. Because trust me, I've been in your situation. When I was younger, I did the drop on my truck, and believe me, we didn't have any power tools. We did everything by hand, but so you can already imagine all that shit was loose. I had to take it to school and like retorque everything, tighten everything up. And you know, me personally, I learned my lesson. You know, you can't always be cheap. So also, that's another thing I'm gonna go to. Springs and spindles, they don't fucking align. Like, they don't. I don't know. I don't care who you are, what combination of parts you say works, it doesn't fucking work, dude. It doesn't. The only way springs and spindles are gonna work is if you do an upper control arm for drop trucks. Not a stock control arm, not a mode control arm, not a precision control arm, not a AC Delco control arm. No, it has to be a control arm to drop trucks. It could be DGM, it could be IHC, you know, just a control arm to drop the trucks. So that's another thing that you guys need to know. Springs and spindles, they don't work. You're gonna end up spending more money doing that crap instead of just doing upper and lower control arms from the very beginning. So these are the questions, you know. Who does your truck? That's one thing you have to look into. You know, do your homework. If you get scammed or you get ripped off or you get crappy work done on your truck and then you complain about it, it's nobody's fault but yourselves. Yeah, the guy that got you, you know, he's to blame for it, but you know, that's what they're there for. They're there to take your money and give you crappy half-ass work. You know, that's what they do. So this falls on you. Y'all have to be careful. You have to do your homework. There's no better way for me to put it. You know, I'm just giving it to you 100%. I'm being very transparent with y'all. It's nobody's fault but yourself. And maybe your friend's fault too, for them recommending you these people, and your friends don't know shit about suspension. So that was question one. Well, who does your truck? The second one, who is going to do the work on your truck? You know, who are the suspension techs that work there? Is it a bunch of kids that work there? And by kids, I mean fucking 15, 16, 17, 18-year-olds that don't know shit about suspension. You know, like, you can easily cross-thread a bolt. If they're not torquing shit to spec, they're leaving shit loose. Like, it's a shit show, man. The stuff that I've seen, the stuff that has came in here and that I've had to fix, I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, how did they even do this? It makes no sense. So that's another question. Who's gonna do the actual work on your truck? Another thing you should look at, number 3, can you get at least 3 good references? You know, just like jobs, you know, they ask for, hey, well, can you give us 3 references? You know, 3 people that you know, have something highly to talk about you, you know, that could give a good reference about you. Can you honestly get 3 good references from 3 of your friends or a relative or an uncle, you know, anybody? And can you actually go under that truck and look at the work? And, you know, maybe you don't know what you're looking at, but, you know, does it look okay to you? You know, do your homework on that. The 4th question, the price versus the quality of the work. If the price is too good to be true, it probably is too good to be true. I know a lot of y'all guys, y'all are like, oh man, well this price is cheaper than this price. You have to think about it and be like, why is it cheaper than this guy's price? You know, that's another little thing that I'm gonna get into. Y'all really need to look at that, the quality of the work. I know some of y'all don't care, y'all just want cheap ass work on your trucks, y'all don't care. Me personally, and the clientele that I tend to fix their trucks to, they want the trucks A1. They want to make sure their wheel isn't gonna fall off. They want to make sure that they're not gonna have an accident or anything bad's gonna happen to their vehicles or their family, you know, because y'all need to take that shit more serious. It isn't just about fixing up your truck or doing this, you know. Our job is very serious, you know. Anything can happen if you forget to do this or you forget to do that. I've seen all kinds of shit, man. It concerns me a lot. I've taken off drop kits that are completely loose, like the hub. If that hub was to come off, your wheel comes off and you're gonna lose control, and it's just, you know, all of this can be avoided. And if the guys that are doing the work on your truck don't know what they're doing, then I don't know, man. I don't know what the fuck you guys are doing. Like, this shit scares me sometimes. So, you know, take into consideration the price and the quality of the work to whoever y'all take the truck to. You know, it doesn't have to be me, it could be another shop or whatever, but just keep those things in mind. Number 5, the parts. You know, ask questions, you know, like, hey, what drop kit are y'all using? You know, when y'all go drop off the vehicle, you know, don't be shy. Ask them to show you the parts. Don't let them be like, oh, well, we're gonna use this, and then boom, last minute they stick it to you and they give you some cheap ass shit. Like, I've seen it happen. They always do this all the time, and I'm just like, and you really left the shop with your truck like that, and they gave you that crap, and you're okay with that? They're like, well yeah, you know. And I'm like, nah, man, that shit isn't right. So always look at the parts. Don't be shy, you know. Tell them, hey, well, can I see the kit first? You know, because you're paying for it. It's your vehicle, so, you know, they should be able to let you see the parts. And if they don't want to see you, if they don't want to let you look at the parts or see them or inspect them or whatever, just leave, man. That's all you gotta do. Just walk out of there. If they're being shady, just leave. Number 6, when you pick up the vehicle, sometimes y'all might pick it up late at night, during the day, or the next day in the morning. It's probably better to always pick it up the next day in the morning, because if you go at night, you know, you're over here all excited, like, damn, oh shit, my truck, man, it looks badass, this and that. Things can look really nice on the outside, but on the inside, it's a whole different story. So if you can, you know, if you go in the afternoon or at night, take a flashlight or something. Maybe take a friend that kind of knows about suspension, and, you know, inspect the vehicle. Go under there, look at it. You know, lift the vehicles also too. You know, check out the truck first before you actually take it. Don't be shy. Just ask questions, and like I said, if they make you feel uncomfortable, they give you a weird vibe, just leave, man. There's tons of shops out there that you can do business with. If they're being very, very shady with you, I wouldn't recommend you doing business with them. You know, it's always better to have a person that's upfront with you, transparent, and they tell you things the way they are. Because, you know, let's just say, for an example, we do a lot of IHC kits, and let's just say that I ran out of IHC kits. Me personally, I'm not gonna do the vehicle if I don't have that kit. But if I was to like give you a Beltec or a McGoy kit, and then I'm over here telling you that it's gonna align, it's not gonna align. You know, it's a bunch of bullshit. You need the upper control arms. So just keep that in mind, the people that you do business with. And then this brings me back to this truck, the truck that I'm about to fix. I haven't taken it apart yet, but to begin with, they didn't even really do drop shocks on there. It looks like it still has the stock shocks on there. They didn't even do shock extenders, and the truck's bottoming out. It's a 4-door, so we're gonna take care of that with some Caltrax. This brings me to the front of the suspension. They told him that there were DGM control arms. DGM has changed their powder coating. They don't even look powder coated anymore. They just look like black paint, but it's like a black. It has texture to it. Like you can feel it. It almost looks like the best thing I can compare it to is bed liner. It comes black like that. They don't come gloss black. There's these other shops that are using these. I guess you'd call them fake parts. They're cheaper quality parts. And I forgot the name of it, but the way that you could tell if you have that kit on your truck, it's a gloss black control arm. The uppers and lowers, they look just like DGM, like almost the same, but like somebody that actually knows control arms and suspension, they could be able to tell you, nah, that's not DGM. And the problem with it is that for some reason, I don't know who built them or what, it doesn't align. This guy has positive camber. So positive camber is basically where the tires are out like this, not in. I don't know if you ever seen guys riding with their shit like this. Yeah, that's negative camber. That's when you need a control arm, you know, to be able to adjust the suspension like this. But no, this guy shit's like this, you know, and I have no idea why. Like, this is why I don't use them. Yeah, they're cheaper, and you know, you could probably make a bigger profit using those parts, but at the end of the day, you know, your customer isn't happy with it, and you basically lost a customer. Yeah, you probably got his ass that time, but you lost customers, you know, because now he's gonna go and tell his friends that, oh no man, they do shitty work, or you know, they use cheap ass parts. And that's fine, man. If y'all think that doing business like that is the way you do business, well, go for it, you know. But yeah, we're gonna fix this guy's truck. The control arms, he's probably gonna use them till he gets tired of them, because you know, this shit does get expensive. He basically has to redo his whole drop. So today we're just gonna do the cow tracks and the drop shocks. That's it. And I'll show you guys the front control arm, so y'all can be careful and not get ripped off with these cheap knockoff control arms, because I'm tired of it. This is why I do what I do. This is why I went to school for all this shit. Like, I have stories for days, man. On my other trucks, yeah, I don't know how many times they got my ass, how many times they scammed me. Like, I'm gonna give y'all a perfect example. When I was in high school, I was building a C10, a 1985, you know, High Sierra. Nice, beautiful little truck that I fixed up. I ended up selling it because I really needed the money. But the shop that was doing the work, I paid that guy close to $10,000 just for the work that he did. And it was some crappy ass work. Just to tell you that the exhaust, they didn't even take it to an exhaust shop, but they did. They went to Home Depot and bought pipe for fence, you know, when you build a fence, and they just like fucking welded it with a stick or whatever, you know, stick weld, not MIG or TIG or anything, stick weld. And that was my exhaust. A fucking pipe from Home Depot. It literally still had the sticker. When I went to the exhaust shop, the guy was like, hey, what is this? I'm like, what do you mean? And yeah, it was an exhaust pipe. Or it wasn't even an exhaust pipe, it was just a fence pipe. And that's what they used for my exhaust. So that just comes to show you that these people don't care, man. They will get your ass. If they see you kind of young and dumb, which was me back then, you know, they got my ass. They got my ass a bunch of times. And I got sick and tired of it. I was like, you know what? Like, nah, no more, man. I'm not gonna let anybody touch my trucks anymore. I'm gonna go to school. And I went to school for my own selfish reasons, because it was really just for me to work on my own shit. But, you know, boom, 10 years later, you know, we have our own shop and we get to offer this to the public, to offer this to our customers. Good quality work at a reasonable price, and you don't have to worry about anything. You're not gonna have any problems or any of that shit. So let's get started. Alright, so I ran into a couple issues with this truck. As you can see, there's a Nissan stamp on this leaf spring. For some reason, they shoved the Nissan leaf spring inside this guy's leaf spring pack. Obviously, it doesn't go there. So what he had going on was a bad pinion angle. I took it out, pressed the new bushing in, got the old one out, did all the shit for the Caltrax. They removed all his little shims that go inside the leaf spring pack, and therefore the original bolt isn't going to work anymore, because it doesn't accommodate for the space that it takes. Because that bolt's like a tight fit on there. So what I had to do was get him a new bolt, and even I felt like it wasn't enough, so I threw 2 washers on there and a lock nut. And you have to shave the ends on the bolt, leave it kind of round and smooth so they can fit back inside that flip kit saddle. and then you can start putting everything back together. But yeah, I don't know, man. This thing's all fucked up. This is exactly what I mean by where you take your truck to. Nothing but problems. Alright guys, so remember I told you that there was leaf springs in there? Well, when they did that, they didn't put the shims back on, or give the guy his shims. Each individual leaf has its own set of shims on there. And well, obviously the bolts that hold this thing together, the leaf spring pack, weren't gonna work anymore. So I had to go ahead and get them new ones and round it off the ends to make it work and sit on the flip kit. The traction bars are on, they're adjusted. The truck now has DGM 1900 Cal Max drop shocks for a smooth ride. We got rid of those AutoZone shocks that were giving them problems or whatever. And now I'm gonna show you guys the front, what I promised y'all. The black glossy control arms. The supposedly DGM control arms. DGM my ass. Let me see. You guys can see them. Like gloss black. And you know, they look like them, but they're not DGM, bro. So yeah, beware, be careful, don't get fucking scammed, screwed over, whatever you want to call it. And we're out.